I titled this section of recording odds and ends. It's a lot of little short snippets of information. So, polyprotic acids have more than one hydrogen, and they dissociate stepwise. So, for example, if we had H3PO4, then we would get H plus H2PO4 minus, and then H2PO4 minus would dissociate to give us H plus HPO4 2 minus, and then HPO4 2 minus would dissociate to give H plus PO4 3 minus, and so we would have a Ka1, a Ka2, and a Ka3. Typically Ka1 is the greatest, and so the first dissociation is the only one that contributes to the H plus, therefore the only one we actually have to worry about. Acid properties of salts. Now remember, salts are just ionic compounds. Now a neutral salt, like NaCl, comes from HCl, a strong acid, NaOH, a strong base. So we get water and NaCl, and it's neutral. But we could get basic salts or acidic salts. You have to look at the salt and decide, what did the pieces come from? So let's look at one. NaNO2. So it could come from HNO2, a weak acid, plus NaOH, a strong base. So we get our HOH, and then we get NaNO2. Well, because NO2 by itself is a base, we have a basic salt. You can also think of it as, look at the ingredients, strong winds. If you mix a weak acid and a strong base, your salt is a base. Strong winds. Okay? An acidic salt, well, we could have I can't think of an example right now. We'll have to look at one in your book. The reason I can't think of an example is because weak bases are usually organic. But you know what? The classic weak base is NH3. So if you have those two things together, the salt you make is NH4Cl. And NH4 plus conjugate acid of NH3, strong acid, weak base. The salt is acidic. Now, structure and acid properties. Oxyacids clearly have oxygen in them. So, the more oxygens So here is the structure of HClO4. And HClO3. And HClO2. So we've got a whole lot of minus going this way. We still have more minus going this way, but not as much. So this can pop off as a positive hydrogen easier the more negative there is pulling in the opposite direction. Acid properties of oxides. Well, we could have a covalent oxide like SO2. Now, when it reacts with water, we get acid. A metallic oxide, MgO, when it reacts with water, it makes a hydroxide, which is a base.